What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Kaiju number 8 video. Alright folks, we got ourselves another topic to discuss, one that's pretty important actually, and one that I think everybody needs to know about, and that is what 4-star characters are worth holding on to and which ones you want to actually focus on. There are a lot of really good ones that'll make your 5-star characters hit way harder, and ones that are going to make the game a lot easier. And right now, because of the limited quantity of 5 stars and the difficulty of getting them, 4 stars are characters you absolutely want to focus on. So we're going to dive into this guys together and kind of give you guys the breakdown of the best 4-star characters and the ones that are going to help you the most and who they pair with best, okay? The Hoshina 4-star support character, Blade Specialist. Now, one thing you want to note about this character, he buddies perfectly with numerous different characters, especially with Reno. If you can pair him with Reno, you're set for a dynamic duo of damage, and one that you definitely want to focus on. Now, the reason what makes him so special, there's a couple different things. The unit and the battle buddy normal attack damage deals 20% more. You guys can see here, 20% more damage on normal attacks is huge, especially for Reno because you do them quite often. And then combat stance here, after activating combat skills, applies speed plus 15 one turn to this unit, allowing him to do more buffs. You guys can see here when you maximize him at the highest level, which is level 80, you can push him obviously further, but in terms of his passives, after turn arrives, this unit's ultimate gauge goes plus 12, allowing him to cast his ultimate more often. But here's where he really shines, okay? And this is what you kind of want to look at. His buff called Instant Inspiration, which is an SP cost 1, ultimate charge is the ultimate gauge charge is 76. He applies ST attack and blast attack damage dealt 45.5%, 2 turns to a single ally, and if this target is a battle buddy, he'll also remove a debuff from that unit as well too, allowing that unit obviously to be really good in regards to keeping debuffs off of them, and like let's say attack down or whatever the case may be. And then also right here you guys can see his ultimate, after attacking, applies speed plus 17.5 2 turns to the battle buddy, allowing Reno, for example in this case, to have more chances in the order to attack more often, which means more damage, which means overall higher DPS for you, right? Overall, he's not a very good damage dealer, but you can see his actual passive skill, if SP is 2 or less, applies speed plus 20 to battle buddy. If SP is 1 or less, applies critical hit damage plus 40% for 2 turns to the battle buddy. So you absolutely want to do this. It is actually pretty imperative that you do, and I'll show you guys an example here of how battle buddies work. So if you go here to squad setup, if you go to rearrange, you'll see there's a little icon over here that tells you exactly who they're paired with. So right now he's paired with Reno, and then right here these two guys are paired together. So this 4-star is a force to be reckoned with, and probably one of the best 4-stars in the game, and one you absolutely want to focus on, especially if you are pairing him with good DPS. All right, let's move on to the next one. Mina. That's right, I actually really like Mina. Very good character and a great support. Again, right now this is what you kind of have to go with Mina. Okay, so first off, right here, the unit effect resistance plus 15. So if you're fighting anybody with does a lot of debuffs or any type of like ailments, her resist is actually great for that. And then her passive here, after attacking a core exposed kaiju, the unit's ultimate gauge goes plus 15. And then ready to fire, after activating combat skill, this turn gets speed plus 20. So you can see here she's a little more selfish on her passive sides for herself, but there's a lot that she offers here in regards to buffs. So first off, apply morale 3 turns to a single ally. You guys see morale target damage dealt is plus 19.2 and combat skill damage plus 19.2. So anybody should really gives this buff to benefits, right? I've been using her with Kaiju number 8, and she has been killing it with him, and he's been doing a lot more damage himself. But there are other units, of course, you can pair her with in order to get this buff, right? So there's that. And then over here you guys can see basic attacks right here. If an ally has morale, this attacks the attack ultimate damage multiplier plus 55 and damage dealt plus 13.7, and deals shot penetration equal to 105 to units to a single attack, right? So there you guys go right there. And then over here, just basic attack or passive skill, after activating a normal attack or ultimate, applies attack plus 38.4 one turn to this unit and allies that have been applied with morale. So you want to keep morale up as much as you possibly can. She's not there for damage, so just apply morale, and as long as she does have her morale and she does one basic attack or an ultimate, she'll apply 38.4% damage or attack to those allies as well too. So before you cast an ultimate, for example, you absolutely want to have these units perform their buffs. All right, so that's another one right there. Another one over here is actually going to be, all right, so Iharu's a little different. He is a support as well. He does some debuffs on the opponent, but he does have a couple nice things. When attacking kaiju that already has a debuff, this unit's damage dealt is 20%. At the start of the battle, advances his this unit's action turn by 25. And then High Spirit, when an ally attacks a kaiju that already has a debuff, the ally's lightning damage dealt is plus 20%. So you want somebody to have lightning damage to pair him with. Ideally, that's what you want. But right now, we don't really have that option until more characters come out, right? So again, single target damage, and right here, Thunderbolt Blast deals shot and lightning damage equal to 70% of the attack to a single kaiju. After attacking, has a 65% chance to apply shock for 2 turns. After turn arrives, takes lightning damage equal to 65% of the attacker. So not a bad one. It's not a max HP one, unfortunately, but it's there, right? And then you guys can see here, this is the one that you really care about. After attacking, has an 80% base chance to apply defense minus 23%. You want as much effect. This is what's really going to push him to be one of the better support characters. You want that defense down as much as possible. You guys can see here, all allies effect hit rate is plus 11%. So you want as much hit rate on him, specifically for his shock to apply, and mostly for this defense for 2 turns to apply. Defense down is massive in this game, and it's one that's going to help you push damage on events like the raid that's going on right now. So definitely don't miss out on this, guys. Really, really big deal. Okay. All right. Next up, and then he's a little bit different. So you guys can see here at the start of the battle, he does ultimate gauge plus. This unit's normal attack deals 40% damage. At the start of the wave, applies attack plus 10% to all allies. So this is actually a really, really good one, and one that you actually want to use. And he applies speed also to all other allies. So you can see here, applies speed plus 8.8 for 2 turns and damage dealt by 17.6 turn. This is his ultimate skill, right? His basic skill here, after attacking, applies ultimate gauge rate plus 11% to this unit. So you want his ultimate to essentially be up almost at all times in order to get this buff off. And then of course, passionate shot here is just basic damage. The proactive command, all other allies attack, is 14.4%. So really, really used to push your damage output a lot, but he really relies heavily on this ultimate gauge limiter. So you definitely want to have this ultimate gauge up as much as you possibly can with him in order to push that damage. So those right there, guys, are the best supports that I have personally. There's one other support that I don't possess, unfortunately, Akari, and I don't have Akari. She's a healer, but I don't have her, so I can't really give you much about her. Heard good things about her. For now, she's really not a must-have unit, but she is a unit that you probably will need in the future. They probably will release more healers as well. It just can't be just one healer, right? But there's this also a unit over here who's a little bit more defensive. So you guys can see here, before activating ultimate, applies effect hit rate plus 25%. So this is actually really good as well too, just to keep the unit up. While having a shield, this unit has resistance plus 25 and a lot of damage resistance here. You guys can see he also has ice damage, so he does apply freeze, and he also delays target's next action by 30% when the freeze happens. After turn arrives, takes additional ice damage, and his 80% chance to apply this freeze. So a pretty big chance, guys, to apply freeze. And right here you can see, after attacking, has a 100% base chance to apply attack down. So in case you need more survivability, he can keep you guys alive really, really well. So a good tank, a good option here if you're looking to keep things alive, a good way to remove debuffs, or sorry, a good way to increase your defense in order to keep you alive, and then also a good way to give you guys some effect resistance or effect hit. So really, really good unit as well too, one that's actually worth holding on to and leveling up. But outside of that, guys, those are probably the best support 4-star units in the game. If there's one that I missed, let me know in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.